As far as recent events, I attempted to write a statement on what exactly to say to convey how I feel. There are no words. The fact is, a monster stole my 10-year-old little girl, and they murdered her, and they dumped her like trash in the woods. So my fight now has turned from looking for my daughter to finding who killed her. This person is a monster, and I grew up teaching my children that monsters didn't exist. So now when you're telling your children monsters don't exist, you're lying. Just keep that in mind. They do exist, and they don't look like monsters. They look like your next door neighbor. They look like the person who lives down the street or the person who works in your school. Yeah, I urge anyone that has any information, any knowledge of any kind to please come forward. We need justice. The people who did this to Lindsey deserve to be punished. And the children still out there, your children, deserve to be safe. And as long as we allow monsters like this on our streets, none of our children are safe. Thank you.
June 26, 2009.
Lindsey and her friends had all been playing with their other playmates and running around town, as was the norm for them on a summer day. That was the last point she was seen.
So she literally disappeared.
She disappeared completely.
Melissa Baum's daughter, Lindsey, disappeared on June 26, 2009, just shy of her 11th birthday. The FBI and hundreds of volunteers joined the search, but as investigators followed up on leads, no suspects were named, and no one was ever arrested.
My daughter's name is Lindsey Jo Baum, and July 7th was her 11th birthday. On the 26th of June, my child disappeared, and with her, my heart. I love Lindsey more than you could ever understand. She is my baby girl, my only daughter. I can't sleep or eat without her here. Every waking moment of my life without her is agony. I really don't care who you are, I just want my Lindsey back safely. Full of life, like from the day she was born. We used to tease her that she came out of the womb talking. She was just active, bright, happy 10-year-old little girl waiting for her 11th birthday. You realize you saw your daughter walk out your door just a few minutes ago, and you don't know when or if you'll ever see her again. It's just kind of a earth-shattering moment.
I'm here today to share with you that we've brought Lindsey home. We've recovered her. Sadly, she was not recovered as we and her family had hoped and prayed these last 9 years. Her remains were recovered in September of 2017, unknowingly, by some hunters in a remote portion of eastern Washington. Those remains were turned over to local authorities, who in turn released them to the FBI, where they were confirmed to be human and sent to the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia for analysis for DNA. Because the remains were not associated with a specific criminal investigation, they were not analyzed for DNA until just recently. So just in the recent week were we notified that the DNA collected from the remains matched the DNA submitted to the lab in 2009.
This wasn't God's plan, this wasn't God's doing. This was an evil human being that saw my child and for whatever reason thought they had a right to take her. I really didn't want it to be a memorial, that's why I've called it the Remembrance Garden. I want her laughter to be heard here. I want her spirit to be felt here. She played here every day.
As Pastor Abe said, Lindsey's in heaven, and I only take comfort in knowing she's with my mother, who she never had the chance to meet. She died the year before Lindsey was born, and they shared a love of chocolate. So I just keep telling myself, they're having parties every night, eating triple chocolate fudge sundaes.
it's a different kind of hope now. Now it's more determination, I guess, that they're going to be brought to justice. I have to believe that it's going to be solved. And if it's not in my lifetime, I promise I will haunt from the grave whoever was involved. If I have to follow them to hell to do it, I will. May God's love be with you.